Yeah, I welcome you all for a new course on data science, a practical guide for beginners. So let us start with an introduction. So what is data science? So what does generally science mean? Science is nothing but what is a systematic study of learning of the physical world based on the various laws, observation and experimentation, right? So what is this data science? So you're going to experiment or you're going to observe something through data so as to achieve the meaningful insights. Okay, the data could be either the unstructured data or a structured data. So for this we should know certain basic concepts. So what are those? So we should know a little bit knowledge on statistics, based on machine learning and domain expertise wherein we are going to apply our application. So based on these three expertise, so we will be analyzing the data and take suitable decisions for our own applications. So thus, what is data science? It is nothing but gathering the data, analyzing it, and then making thorough decision making for our own application. So it is nothing but finding, it could also be said in the different way as finding the data patterns, okay, through analysis so as to make future predictions. So mainly where are the data science applied? It is mainly in the business. Okay, so whether to choose better decisions, whether I have to choose a decision A or a decision B, or sometime it could be like a predictive analysis. Okay, I want to predict what will be the future. Okay, so taking the profit of my company this year, what could be the profit next year, or it could be like discovering a pattern in the data, okay, from the hidden information. So what are the day-to-day applications of data science? So some of them are listed here. So it could be for a route planning, so to discover the best routes, okay, or it could be a predictive analysis, so to check for the delays in the flight or a ship or a train, so whatever we board on, or it could be the day-to-day application. So we are ordering the foods from Zomato and Swiggy. So what is the best suited time to deliver the goods? Or it could be the goods from Amazon or Flipkart. So it could also be used for the forecasting. So as I told you, to predict the next year revenue for a company, or to analyze the health benefits of training. So usually in Twitter, what is the main scenario that is going on in a recent times? To predict who will win the elections, right? So now we'll take a typical case study of data science. So let us take a normal example because robotics is of emerging area. I've taken that example. A manufacturing facility, it uses a robot arm for assembly. Okay, so now whenever I'm going to take a robot, it is going to be associated with multiple sensors. It could be a force metrics sensor, or a vision measuring sensor, or a temperature measuring sensor. So whenever I'm going to get the data from all these sensors, so the data science process will help us to detect either the wear and tear on the parts, or to detect the potential failures before they occur, or to optimize the robotic operation for energy efficiency. So additionally at the back end, so we will be using the machine learning algorithms, so to find out the best path for each assembly task, so thereby improvising the speed and precision over time. So now let us have a look on how this data science works. So it comes under through 6 processes, namely problem statement, data collection, data cleaning, data analysis and exploration, data modeling, optimization and deployment. So we take a general example also. See, problem statement. So the students after the BTech, they are going to get placed in a company. When they are going to get placed in a company, the company is going to provide a problem statement or objective. So this is a work for your project for 6 months. So immediately the team, what they will do, so whatever the title it has been given, accordingly they'll start collecting the data. So when the company is going to give the voluminous data, all the data they cannot apply for their own application. So they have to segregate the data, what they want and what they don't want, and all the erroneous data or noise data or the missing values data will be removed. So this process is called as your data cleaning. Once the data obtained is correct and proper, then we move on to your analysis part. What are the analysis I can do from this data so as to arrive at a conclusion? So once the analysis procedure, or what am I going to plot or what am I going to summarize is done with, then we have to move on to the data modeling process. For my data, what is the best method to produce the required output result? So here where we'll be using the machine learning algorithms or the neural networks or the deep learning algorithms or the natural language processing so as to obtain the required solution. So once the model has been obtained, we have to check whether the result what we have obtained is optimized, it is the best result or not. So we have to go on for the optimization procedure. So once you have found out that this is the best result for my problem, so we have to deploy it in real time. So these are the 6 processes. So as I told you, the same robotic assembly we can take, for which the first process is a data collection, where we could collect the data from various sensors, actuators and IoT devices. So the data could be the vibration data from all the motors. The next, these data will be fed to the data cleaning process, wherein the noises are removed, the missing values are handled. Like here the data could be nothing but filtering the sensor data with outliers. What is the outlier? Outlier is a data that stands apart from the group. Okay, so those unwanted data will be removed with. The next step is data exploration and analysis. So once the data is obtained, we are going to visualize the data and summarize the data. So we are going to plot the graphs and visually see what are the things which has been obtained from the data and what are the analysis that could be made with. So example, plotting the sensor data trends over the time will give you, let us take the temperature, okay, whether the temperature is within the limits or not. So those inputs will be used for handling the data modeling, that is your model building. So herein we'll be applying the various machine learning algorithms. So example could be, if I want to predict the component failure using the past historical data. The next concept would be the deployment. So once the model is made, I have to implement in real-time system. So here the example could be embedding this with a fault detection model with PLCs, that is a programming logic control. Okay, so it is not that once it is getting deployed, I cannot leave it as it is. So I have to thoroughly check the model evaluation, whether my model is working properly or not. Whether if I am going to give the new testing data for which also my prediction model provides the results with correct accuracy. Right. So example, we can take the day-to-day example is ChatGPT. So what is ChatGPT does? So whatever we give the condition that we want this data to be known, so it immediately gives like how the human speaks with us, right? So could you think that it could be made in a day? No. So how much of training data they would have given it to it, because of which now it has become a popular now, right? So though it was introduced by Peter Neuer in 1974 itself, but John Tukey has took over it, and though it started as a non-profit organization in 2015, but it became as a profitable organization in 2019, right? So this is the only after the failures the success would come, right? So now we will move on to the predictive maintenance for industrial motors. This is also one of the test case. See, the applications alone will differ. The baseline process of data science would remain the same. Suppose let us take, okay, so we want to prevent the motor failures in an automated plant. Okay, so here also the data source will be the vibration sensors, okay, getting all the data from the motors. Okay, so after collecting all the data, remove the anomalies, that is the noise which is caused by the environmental factors. Then you plot the what is the vibration level across with respect to time. So that will give you the deviations. Okay, so over time. Next, you build the model. So to classify whether the conditions are normal or abnormal conditions using a machine learning classifier. Now you can integrate, once the model is ready, you can deploy it by integrating into the plant's PLC model for real-time monitoring. So some of the outcomes could be that the downtime could be reduced by 30%, or it could also result in the early detection of potential failures. So which is the one of the advantages of data science. Now the next topic. So usually if you could see, we are often seeing two words. One is big data, another is data science. Now let us see what is the difference between these two, right? So what is a big data? It is nothing but the collection of data. So whenever I am going to collect the data in large amount, so it becomes quite difficult or complex even for the traditional management system, DBMS system, right? So whereas from these data, if I'm going to infer the meaningful insights, it becomes a data science. So I've just posted a diagram which shows a crude oil input and the output is the different segregations from this oil in a refinery. So this crude oil is something relating to your big data, whereas meaningful informations which is received as gas, naphtha or gasoline or kerosene, that is your data science. So thus data science is a method which is used to analyze the massive amount of data like crude oil and extract the meaningful information like gasoline or kerosene from the entire bunch of data. Now let us move on to the characteristics of big data, because why big data has to be analyzed in today's scenario. It is because it is voluminous and the data are of different types, different varieties, diversified data. And another thing is that data is generated at such a fast speed that some techniques has to be there to segregate it and provide a useful information from it. Now moving on to the last slide. So what are the general benefits and uses of either data science or big data? So big data or data science engineer is in demand in today's scenario, and also abundance of positions is employed. It is going to be a highly paid career, and it is also makes the product smarter. Right? So as we said, so just sitting in front of the home in a mobile, we are able to order the things that comes to us. So it is all because of the applications of data science. And the last point, data science can save lives. So how this could be possible? So usually what we say, only the doctor can save our lives, right? So but it is quite interesting to know that a statement has been given stating that how the data science can save lives. Okay, it is because this impregnating with the health history, this data science, it can enable the early disease detection through analysis of medical data, or identifying the high risk in an individual priorly, or it could be like a healthcare resource allocation, or predicting public health outbreaks priorly, or developing the personalized treatment plans. So now and all, if you are going to the doctor priorly, if you want to consult a good doctor, so we'll just ask through friends whether the person neighboring in any place is a good doctor or not, kindly tell us. But now, so through data science, through many apps like Practo, so we could find the doctor based on his ratings, like whether he is good or whether he is reachable and what is the cost, everything. So data science has made our life easy, right? Thank you, students. Very happy learning.